One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. Naya Inoue versus Warlito Perennas. Javier Mendoza versus Akira Higashi. Takashi Uchiyama versus Oliver Flores. Yoichi Taguchi versus Luis De La Rosa. Kosei Tanaka versus Vic Soledad. Kazuto Ioka versus Juan Carlos Reveco. Katsunari Takayama versus Jose Argumedo. What do these things have in common? What they have in common is the fact that, well, they all take place in Japan, sure, but they're all world championship fights. They're all world title fights. They're all taking place the week of the New Year's celebration. You know, New Year's Eve approaching, New Year's Eve going into New Year's Day. And they're all somehow being left out of the Best of Awards for 2015. Basically people are already naming the Fighter of the Year, Upset of the Year, and so on and so forth. And yet these other fights here, all world title fights, amongst others, because there's several fights on all of these cards that these fights take place on that aren't title fights, that still have yet to take place, that will be taking place in 2015. And yet people are already making their choices. You know, it's kind of funny how, I don't know, I guess you might say ethnocentric people in the boxing world can be. And yet it's a worldwide sport. And yet there's so many of these fighters that are world champions that are fighting on the other side of the world. But yet, no, like, oh, well, you know, these are the boxing awards. And yet these guys participate in the sport of boxing, but apparently what they do doesn't count, and apparently what they do doesn't matter. Funny how that works.